Okay, so if you're a remote student or you just need to see this process one more time, okay, I'm going to show you one more time about how to solve density problems with science math, TM. Yay! Okay, the equation we use, technically the equation for density is read as density is equal to the mass divided by the volume. But sometimes we want to find volume and sometimes we want to find mass. And we could do algebra to solve the equation each time, but we would rather not do algebra. So this is an old trick that I learned years and years ago when I was about your age that you're going to find makes your life a lot easier if you learn how to use it. So the way that the circle works is you cover up the one thing that you're looking for and what's left will be your equation. So if we're trying to find density, we cover up the density and we're left with a mass divided by a volume, right? Mass over volume. If you're looking for the volume, we would cover it up and we're left with a mass divided by a density. Okay, if you're looking for a mass and we cover that, notice that this isn't like one over the other. We'd get a density times a volume. Okay, so our word problem here, because density problems will come as word problems. Okay, it's the density of a 5-gram object with a volume of 15-gram object with a volume of 5 cubic centimeters. Okay, science math, TM. First thing we need to do is to list the things we know. We need to take the numbers out of the question and make a list right here of what we have. So I know that I have that 15 grams, and I need to identify it. That 15 grams is a mass. And I have 5 cubic centimeters. Okay. And I know that cubic centimeters measures a volume, and I'm told that right here. And then I'm asked to find a density. Okay, I need to see this list with the units on them. Every number you ever write down gets the unit still on it. It is absolutely important in science that we do that. Okay, next step, I need a formula. There are no numbers in the formula. Okay, so I'm looking for density. Again, we're going to come over here, cover up density. I'm left with a mass divided by a volume. So I'm going to write that down. Density equals mass over volume. Okay. Now I'm going to plug in my numbers with their units still attached. Actually write them down, okay? So that's equal to 15 grams divided by 5 cubic centimeters. I'm going to solve 15 divided by 5 is 3, and then I'm going to put a unit on it. The units for density are always a mass over a volume. They're really just right here. The easiest thing you can do sometimes, though, is go back and ask, what was I looking for anyway? I'm looking for a density. Density units are mass over a volume. So I get grams over cubic centimeters. Okay, and there's my answer. These are worth 5 points each. 1 for listing your information, 1 for writing out the formula without its numbers, 1 for putting the numbers in, their units still on them, the answer, and then a unit, which means if you get the answer wrong and you did everything else right, you're really only going to miss like 1 point out of 5, or probably even only half, because if you took 15 divided by 5 and got 2 or something silly, I'm going to give you partial credit for at least trying. Okay, let's do another one. Oil has a density of 0.8 grams per cubic milliliter. So what is the mass of 100 milliliters of oil? We write down what we know. We list 0.8 grams per cubic milliliter, right, with the unit there and the fact that I'm told it's a density of, I know that's a density. Density equals 0.8 grams per milliliter. Notice that we don't have cubic milliliters. Liter is already a volume, so I don't need to cube this one. Okay. I have this 100 milliliters. Again, liters measure volume every time. So this is a volume of 100 milliliters. And I'm asked, what is the mass? So mass is what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to come back up to my circle. I'm looking for mass. That's my question mark. So I cover it up. Mass will equal density times volume. So that's my formula. Mass equals density times a volume. I put in my numbers. Mass equals 0.8 grams per milliliter times 100 milliliters, and then I get an answer. Okay, you can use a calculator if you want, but multiplying by 100 is nice and easy. So we get 80, and then we put a unit on it. Well, I'm looking for a mass, right? So you come up here to your density unit, which is grams per milliliter. Which of those is a mass? Well, that's this grams right here, right? So my answer is 80 grams. Again, 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good luck.